Assalamu alaikum. I am Tanvir Shantisan. I am pursuing my undergrad degree in Daffodil International University. My ID is 232158770. Let me start with a simple question. Imagine you have completed your research, collected and analyzed your data, and finally got some interesting results. You present them to your supervisor, and they ask, "So, what do these findings actually mean?" Suddenly, showing the results is no longer enough. Because research is not only about finding something, it's about understanding what that finding means, how it relates to existing knowledge, and why it matters. So today, I'm going to talk about the part of research where we make that transition from data to story, mastering the thesis discussion section. So, before going deeper into discussion, we need to understand how it differs from results and conclusion. Results tell us what the analysis found and present the data objective. Discussion asks, what do these findings mean? It interprets the results, connect them with previous research, and explain their importance. Conclusion summarizes the main findings and confirms whether the research objectives have been fulfilled. There is a simple analogy. Results are the fingerprints. Discussion is the detective's explanation, and conclusion is the verdict. So, result gives us the evidence, decision explains it, and conclusion gives us the final takeaway. Now, how do you build a strong discussion? We can think of it in three parts. First, the beginning. Answer the research question directly from our findings. Second, middle. Interpret the findings, compare them with previous research, and acknowledge strengths and limitations. Finally, the end. Explain the contribution and why filling the research gap matters. So, if we reduce the structure, three questions. What did we find? What does it mean? And why it does matter. The flow becomes finding, interpretation, and contribution. Now comes one of the most important parts of discussion, comparative analysis. Suppose our findings are consistent with a previous study. Is it enough to say our findings are similar to previous research? Not really. We should ask why maybe the methodology, study population, context, or theory was similar. But what if our findings contradict a previous study? Does that automatically mean our research is wrong? Not necessarily. The difference may relate to simple characteristics, data collection methods, dataset size, or context. And there is a third possibility. Our research may extend existing knowledge by introducing another factor or providing broader understanding. So, comparative analysis is not simply about agree or disagree. The real academic questions are why do they agree? Why do they differ? And what our knowledge does our research add? 4 fatal pitfalls to avoid. Why? While doing this, there are 4 important traps to avoid. First, ghost data. Do not introduce new results that were already presented. Second, inflated claims. So do not make claims beyond what the evidence supports. Third, undermining. Limitation should strengthen our credibility, not make the research sound like a failure. And fourth, raw tables. Discussion should focus on interpreting findings rather than simply repeating tables and charts. So remember, discussion should interpret evidence, not manufacture evidence. After interpreting our findings, we need to ask why does the finding matter beyond the dataset? This takes us to implication and recommendation. First, theoretical. How do our findings connect with existing theories or knowledge? Second, practical. How can these findings be applied in the real world? And third, future research. What should research investigate next? So a strong discussion doesn't stop at this is what we found. It continues with this is what it matters. This is why it matters, and this is what it can happen next. So thank you everyone. That's it from me.